baik tu dia jadi mereka tahu रेडियो फीजी बहुत रेडियो फीजी रोज सुनता हूँ
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन
Yandravinaka, Fiji. In this bulletin, 2 new border quarantine cases recorded. SEDELPA extends casual appointments and social welfare recipients face Friday deadline.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
Fiji has recorded 2 new border cases, and both patients are Fiji citizens who arrived from India on a repatriation flight last week. A 37-year-old man and a 36-year-old woman are the latest COVID-19 border quarantine cases, raising our total of active cases to 3. The 36-year-old man is the son of the 66-year-old man who was confirmed COVID positive on Sunday. Koroi Tandulala reports.
Acting Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Health, Dr. James Fong, says both new cases showed mild symptoms before they were tested.
Both are Fijian citizens who were repatriated from India on the 1st of July. One is a 37-year-old son of our first border quarantine case that was announced yesterday. And the second is a 36-year-old female. Like the other 2 cases, she had been in Chennai, India, where she accompanied her husband who was undergoing treatment for some medical condition.
Dr. Fong says the 66-year-old man and his 37-year-old son have been transported to the Lotoko hospital as a precautionary measure.
The reason they've been transferred to the Lotoko hospital is only because the dad has some pre-existing conditions, a medical condition, and he's of an advanced age. Our border quarantine case 3, the 36-year-old female, her test was positive this morning in the Fiji CDC.
Today marks 80 days since our last confirmed case outside a border quarantine facility. 80 days. That's an achievement. And that's not to say we haven't been looking. We've been testing daily. Our testing has actually increased since our last confirmed case.
The Acting Permanent Secretary says all the other 105 passengers will be tested today, and the ministry expects to receive the results by the end of the business day. Koroi Tandulala, FBC News.
The Acting Permanent Secretary for Health and Head of Health Protection were emotional yesterday afternoon as they urged everyone to be mindful of the criticism being targeted at those returning from overseas. Pleading to some members of the public who have been critical, the ministry says we must stand ready to welcome our people home who have been stuck overseas for months. Dr. Fong reiterated that as long as the COVID-19 pandemic lingers, we cannot lose sight of our humanity.
As long as we continue to welcome back our own citizens from nations with large-scale outbreaks, we will continue to find cases at our border. This is a new normal because we cannot turn our back to our own citizens, not to our people. We must not lose sight of our humanity, even in difficult times.
We urge you, please have some compassion for our returning citizens. Put yourself in their shoes. Imagine if it was your parent.
The Social Democratic Liberal Party Management Board has extended the casual appointments made to positions of President and Vice Presidents. SEDELPA General Secretary Emilian Duituturanga has confirmed that the Management Board has made the decision to extend the appointments made to senior party positions until they have a special general meeting or an annual general meeting. Duituturanga also clarified that the letter from the Fijian Elections Office was in response to queries made by a SEDELPA constituency president in the Western Division.
Mr. Political Parties was responding to a query to his office. That was not a letter to my office. So I can't comment on a communication that was not directed in my office.
In a letter, Registrar of Political Parties Mohammed Saneem stated that the casual appointments to senior party positions have now lapsed. Saneem also stated that in analysing the lifting of the party's suspension, he had noted in the SEDELPA Constitution that their annual general meeting was to be held no later than 30th June. However, SEDELPA will hold its AGM in November, while a special general meeting is scheduled for July 25th. The Social Welfare Department says in their bid to identify fraudulent recipients, more than 70% of those receiving benefits have applied for recertification. The department says some families of recipients are taking the assistance after the original recipient has passed. So far, forms have come flooding into the department, the majority of them from the maritime and rural areas. Director Rupeni Fatiaki says they have noted that unexpectedly there has been a better response from people living in rural areas than the urban areas.
The interesting part is that it's the people around the urban areas. Suva, Nosori, Nasinu, Nendi. Our figures reveal that these are the ones that, the numbers are low in returning the forms.
Director Rupeni Fatiaki says they expect to receive the remaining 30% of the forms by Friday, which is also the closing date of submissions. Limited access to seedlings is a major challenge faced by kava farmers in the country. To overcome this challenge, 2 commercial nurseries will be designed, procured and installed on Ovalau and Vanuatu. Fiji's kava General Manager Sales, George Kotombalavu, says the nurseries will be used for mass production of kava plantings, which will be distributed to contracted farmers. Kotombalavu says the nurseries will be established under the new partnership that was signed between the Pacific Horticultural Agricultural Market Access Plus program and South Pacific Elixirs Limited.
Will allow us to provide seedling in bulk volumes, and that means a whole lot cover being farmed out there, and it also allows us to buy from the farmers as part of that contractual arrangement.
Care packs were yesterday donated to the National Fire Authority's Lautoka station by Fiji Water. This is in line with Phase 2 of the government's COVID-19 Safe Economic Recovery Program. Chief Executive Paul Mausawane says the donation is timely, especially with the current situation Fiji and the world are facing. Each care pack includes hand sanitizers, a set of face masks made locally by Sambeto-based women's non-profit Rise Beyond the Reef, and seeds for backyard gardening and Fiji Water sports cap bottles.
Fiji Water has a long and virtuous relationship with NFA, and we do appreciate the fact that Fiji Water has always been there to offer your support. So the NFA family is always grateful to all community and stakeholders who come forward to provide assistance.
EqualMed, a United States non-profit medical supplier, has continuously diversified its operation since its inception in 2013. The organization has been distributing medical supplies to countries, particularly Fiji, to help in the fight against non-communicable diseases. EqualMed representative Selvin Prasad says the assistance over the past 7 years has been used by Diabetes Fiji.
It will not only assist Diabetes Fiji, but they have also sent in some items for urgent needs that will help us prevent the treatment of COVID-19. Actually, it has more than 100,000 worth of supplies that will directly assist in the prevention of COVID-19.
Turning overseas, a stark warning in the United States with evidence COVID-19 is spreading rapidly among young people. Health officials say the average age is 15 years younger than when the pandemic began, and now it is adding on pressure on already stretched hospitals. Coming up, Skipper Cup a priority for FRU. And Cricket Fiji plans for national tournament.
Pula natang ko aproslan karse, ko erkraki. Do talebe ono barong na Radio Fiji 1, nandomo ibiti.
Radio Fiji 1, nandomo ibiti.
Local Sevens windows planned for the national men's and women's side may come later than expected. Fiji Sevens head coach Gareth Baber and Fijiana head coach Sayasi Fuli has expressed their need on having domestic Sevens competitions. This is to give the players some game time ahead of the 2020-2021 World Series and the Tokyo Olympic Games. Fiji Rugby Union Chief Executive John O'Connor reveals talks on the Sevens windows are ongoing, but focus now is on the upcoming Skipper Cup.
Give the players some game time in Sevens. But for the time being, our main focus is on kickoff of skipper and vote phone, and the players will be released to play
14 sports are expected to be accredited by the Fiji National Sports Commission tomorrow. These sporting bodies submitted their return to play protocols a few weeks ago, adding to the 11 sports that were accredited last month. The 14 sports that will be accredited include badminton, surfing, archery, basketball, swimming, athletics, silver marathon, weightlifting, volleyball, baseball and softball, netball, table tennis, amateur boxing and futsal. Aligning with the new return to play protocol is something the Commission wants all sporting federations to follow.
It's not just about COVID, it's actually re-looking. It's a new norm, as we keep talking about. I think we're very pleased with how all the national sporting federations have taken the accreditation on board. Those that got their first accreditations, their first 11, the great thing that has been happening is that they have been now going around the country and running training sessions.
Plans are underway for Cricket Fiji to host a national tournament come October. The association received its return to play accreditation last month and is now working on ensuring its national tournament commences as soon as possible. Cricket Fiji President Alex Kondrote says they are finalising the logistics of the tournament and the date is still yet to be confirmed. Kondrote adds some teams for the national tournament will be selected from the T10 Championship.
So we don't want to stop momentum now. After this tournament, we'll pick a Suva squad. There'll be a squad down the west, and there'll be a couple other squads out in the associations. And they all come together in October for the national tournament, where we'll combine and pick a bigger squad.
Suva football captain Felipe Mbaravilala is optimistic the capital side will do wonders in the resumption of the Vodafone Premier League. Despite the 3-2 loss to Nandi on Sunday, the captain is confident the players will learn from their mistakes. Mbaravilala says the warm-up match against the Jet Setters has laid the groundwork on areas that need improvement before they take the field for their next VPL match.
We are working towards the first game, whichever team we are facing. We will work hard and because the rest of the game, the coaches have already informed us. We need to win all the games and we'll work hard. We have already talked as a team that we have to work hard towards the first game. Whoever team we will face, definitely we will go for a win.
A quick look at the weather for today. It is Wednesday, the 8th of July. Expect cloudy periods with some showers and possible thunderstorms over Vanua-Levu, Taveuni and northern Lau Group. Showers gradually clearing later tonight. Expect cloudy periods with brief showers over the eastern and interior parts of the other larger islands, Lomaiviti and the southern Lau Group. So it's best that when out and about today, you keep those umbrellas close. And that is your FBC Morning News. Join us at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. Remember, in times of crisis, you need factual news that you can trust. Stop believing fake news about the COVID-19 on social media. Fight misinformation by getting only the facts about the coronavirus from verified news sources like FBC's TV, radio and digital media news. www.fbcnews.com.fj. Keeping Fijians connected with the truth.
Bula, gue minuni mereka-reka untuk teletak di Bula FM, namun 2 NSR.
Bula FM, number 2 NSR.